Peace and bright blessings, guys. It's your Queen of Spades coming at you today. So I wanted to do an update on my spirit funeral video, in which the spirit did cross over successfully into the spirit realm. I did divination to, to make sure that the job was a job well done. And, so basically he did cross over and I was able to help him to do that. So I am thankful for that. Basically the emotions that I experienced in the spirit coming home with me, and also, allowing me to feel his feelings, and, basically showing me, but through, emotions and attachment, basically what he was going through internally. And in turn, I was, physically feeling, emotionally feeling, and even spiritually affected, by the energy that he was putting on me, which was his own energy to let me know. Because sometimes they're not really sure if, the person that they're trying to get their attention, they're not really sure if they're reaching that person. And so, I came home, I got into my nightgown that night, and I went to bed with a certain heaviness on me from knowing, some of the information of what happened that night. Over time, more has been revealed and it's starting to add up and make sense. But basically, it felt like he was just really trying to get my attention. And he was trying to kind of like, someone's in trouble on the road and their car breaks down and they try to, wave somebody down, to help them out of this situation that they're in. That's what it felt like where the spirit was concerned. So it was like emotionally overwhelming for me. Like at some point I couldn't tell, because he was merging his feelings and emotions with mine. It's like at some point it was like really hard to tell, like which was really my feelings and thoughts and emotions and which was his. And though I've done spirit funerals before, several times over actually, I've done them for my family members that have passed on, and some that I didn't even know, that were still earthbound, that may have died when, before I was born or when I was a little girl. I have successfully crossed them over, and I have successfully crossed over several other spirits, whether it's for clients or, I find out that, that client has a grandparent or, a family member of any sort, of any kind, that has just passed away, or, maybe like weeks ago or a month ago, or maybe they passed away like, years ago. And then I do divination to find out if that family member has in fact crossed over, and find out that they're still earthbound. And so as a result, that's where I kick in. That's where I chime in and basically, help to cross them over. It's actually a very selfless, rewarding type of work that I do. And it feels good to do it, especially if those spirits have been here for, multiple years, and they're looking for a way out. They're looking for, the way to go to get to the spirit realm, to cross over. And then, they send their family member to me. Their family member doesn't know why they felt led to me, but that may be partially why they felt led to come to me, because, they may have a family member, that actually has not crossed over into the spirit room just yet. And so they send them to me, and then I find out that they have a family member that may have just passed away, anywhere between, a couple of weeks to, years, decades. They may have, passed away. Years or decades ago, they may have passed away, and their spirit is still kind of like wandering around, and they're unhappy here because they may have seen all that they needed to see, accomplished all that they needed to accomplish, and they just don't have an out. They don't have a way to get to the spirit realm. They don't know how to get to the spirit realm. And then, they run across somebody like me as a psychic medium who's able to cross them over. And they take full advantage of that, which I don't blame them. This was actually the first time experiencing crossing over a spirit very fresh that had just died, like, I don't know, anywhere between 30 minutes and an hour before, before I actually found that, I had a spirit that had latched on and followed me home. This was the first time that a spirit had died so freshly and then came looking for me. So this was a very interesting experience, and I'm gathering the processes are a little different when a spirit, has been here for years versus, a spirit that has freshly died. And I feel how it feels, physically and emotionally and spiritually, for a spirit that has been lingering in this earthly realm, for weeks, a month, decades, versus a spirit that freshly died, like, a half an hour to an hour before I left, the club scene. And their soul was probably like wandering out in the parking lot, and just decided to follow me home from, that club scene. And so because they had freshly passed, away, within that 30 minutes to an hour time before I left the club scene to come back home, and they followed me home, they hadn't had time yet to deal with their emotions and their feelings. They hadn't had time to possibly process all of their emotions and feelings yet. But I feel like they processed enough to know, okay, I don't need to stay here any longer, and I'm ready to go. And ultimately, it's got to be somewhat up to that spirit. Like, they have to be willing to cross over in order for me to, be able to do my job and help them to cross over into the spirit room. They have to want that first. So I've noticed, like, in certain situations, like, if a spirit like just crossed over, like maybe like a couple of weeks, few days, sometimes I have to kind of like coach them, kind of like coax them into, not coax them into wanting to go into the spirit realm, because, I let them know it's much better for them. Like, they're losing energy and they're not being able to process or resolve their matters and elevate to a higher realm, which is the spirit realm, in which they can go on to, continue their soul's mission and do, great things after they have ascended into, the spirit realm. But most of the time, the spirits that I encounter have been here for a while. And by the time they meet someone like me, they're ready to go. And I feel them like swiftly move into the light and cross over. And then I do divination to find out if they in fact, make sure that they have in fact crossed over, make sure my job is done. And that's what I did with this person. It seems like after I made the video and after I took a nice little spiritual bath with, sea salt and Epsom salt and some Florida water, my fairy Florida water that's actually on my site. After I had that spiritual bath, it seems as though like the energy of me feeling like cloudy minded, um, kind of like not able to think straight, very emotional, but not really understanding totally like what I'm emotional about. It seems like after I took that spiritual bath, like the rest of the energy after recording the video, the rest of the energy that was lingering on me kind of just fell off, into the waters, in which I promptly got out of the bath, let it out and let the water run out, and put on some protective oils, and I meditated that night as well. And I felt I felt a lot excuse me, I felt a lot better than what I initially did when I first recorded that video. And so I am thankful that that spirit did cross over very easily. I actually had some of my enlightened ancestors to, walk with this person and guide them into the spirit realm so that they would know exactly where to go and they wouldn't be alone on their journey into the spirit realm. I've actually found out a lot more about the situation, since then. And it's just so unfortunate because, like I said, this person was kind of like, it wasn't even the two people that were initially fighting. Like, this was a person that was friends with those two people and was like an innocent bystander and, got shot, at close gun range. And the person that shot them actually, shot him, turned himself in to the police who were sitting, out front right afterwards. And so that person's going to be charged with, murder and probably sent to jail for a very long time because, he pretty much turned himself in and admitted to what he did. And so it's almost like the only justice left for that person was to be able to gain some sense of peace and crossing on over into the spirit realm. And like I said, that was my first time dealing with a spirit that had died so fresh and had come to me like right after dying, wanting to cross over. So I'm gauging in and I'm seeing like the difference between dealing with spirits that have been here for decades versus a spirit that has freshly died. And, when I'm seeing now, like when they freshly die and they come to you as a psychic medium to help them cross over, it's like any pain, any emotions, anything that they're feeling is so fresh, and you literally feel it like you was right there, like you was the one that experienced it. So that was a new experience for me because every spirit I've dealt with has been here for a while. So to experience something like that, that was unlike anything I had ever experienced before. And while I'm not regretful of experiencing it, I'm kind of thankful for the experience because I would never know what that feels like, until I experienced it. And when you have certain gifts and talents, you can't turn them off, especially if they're spiritual gifts and talents. You can't just turn them off. You can't stop them, from happening. So it is what it is. I was here meant to do specific work, specific types of spiritual work. And so at the end of the day, I have to be thankful for my gift because it does bring a sense of relief and even closure in a sense to that family. They don't know that that's what I have brought them, especially if they don't know that I have crossed their family member over or their loved one. But just by them being able to move forward, they feel that that person is now at peace, and they may not even know that, but that person is not hurting. That person is not, in a state of confusion or, mental anguish. That soul was able to cross over and join hands with the divine as a result of, me doing that spirit funeral for them. And the candle, as you can see, is still going strong in the background. It's almost done, but still going. And like I said, after that spiritual bath, I felt a sense of relief that person, that soul, felt crossing over into the spirit realm. So it makes me feel good. It makes me feel better that I was able to bring that person a sense of relief, because they were just in the wrong place at the wrong time. I hated for their wife and their children left behind, and, my prayers and well wishes are with them. But, I'm glad that I was able to do that for that spirit. I'm glad that he found me, and I was able to help him out with that. So, as I said in the last video, if you have loved ones or family members that have recently passed away, and you want to determine if they have actually crossed over into the spirit realm or if they are still stuck here and earthbound, I do divination for that, and I'm able to do and perform spirit funerals as well for them to help them cross over into the spirit realm safely. And that usually brings a sense of peace and relief to the family members that are still here, living in this earthly realm. So get with me, contact me if you're one of those people who has had a family member or loved one that recently passed, and you want to make sure that they have crossed over into the spirit realm. Some spirits cross over right away. They don't waste any time going. They have no regrets. They have no lingering guilt. And so they just cross over easily. But there's some spirits that stay here because, they want to make sure the people that they're leaving behind are going to be okay without them. And, so yeah, so that's my update on my spirit funeral and all of the emotions that I was feeling. I actually feel back to normal, much better now, thank goodness. That spiritual bath was a lifesaver, and I just wanted to update you guys on that. And today is actually Jupiter Thursday, okay? So get your money work in. If you don't know how to do money workings for yourself, you can always contact me through Joharislair at yahoo.com, my email. And I do money workings for my clients. I also hold witchy classes as well, in which, it is a paid witchy class, but you will learn the ins and outs, the tips and the tricks on how to do magic for yourself and do it in a consistent way where, you're able to benefit from it in your life, and also loved ones connected and related to you. So get with me. That's all I have for you today, guys. And I'm going to get on my money magic because it is a Jupiter Thursday, and it is the full moon is in Scorpio. And we know how intense that Scorpio energy can be. And so this is a great time to get some, money magic done and manifest that abundance into your life that you're desirous of. Okay. So I hope that, for those who emailed me like, are you okay? I hope that answers your questions and put your mind to ease that I'm okay now. It's just something us psychic mediums go through when we are dealing with the spiritual realm and with spirits, totally and completely by themselves. It's just a natural part of the process. But I look forward to speaking with you guys again in the next video. And like, subscribe, and comment down below if you have any questions, or if you too have had personal dealings with spirits yourself and what your personal experiences were. I actually would like to hear about it. All right. So I look forward to talking with you guys soon. Peace and bright blessings, guys.